we can segue now that we're talking about movies. We can segue into now a decade. We're wrapping up the decade here. It is the 27th for us. Might be even later when this is posted. Might be even the New Year. So I'll say in advance, Happy New Year.
I'm gonna try to get it before the New Year.
Yeah, but in advance, Happy New Year. Jesus Christ, Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
But we can talk about a couple lists about the decade before we really get into
Feliz Dia de la Madre.
thinking about new things that or old things that have happened in the decade. We can kind of talk about our list. So, if you want to start us off, Mikey, you got a list of your list of
like things that
this is 2019. We no.
Do movies of 2019.
Movies of 2019. Then we're going to talk about the decade. So let's go with movies of 2019 first. Take away my Happy New Year. I'm going to talk about that later.
Yeah, fuck your New Year's.
Yeah, fuck.
Get the fuck out of here.
Feliz Dia de la Madre.
Get the hell. Yo, what the hell?
So, you got your list, or you want
read
Jack
the list
Schroeder to
off.
start?
I'll start with some lists here.
Okay.
So, I'll start with the Joker. I thought the Joker.
Is that your
That's
number?
5.
You want your number 5 or number 1? Let's go 5.
Let's go 5.
Yeah, start 5.
Let's go 5, and like you'll say your number 5, number 5, number 5. You want to do that?
Sure.
You want to
So I'll
really
I'm
wind
gonna-
it down?
I'll start with the Joker.
Okay.
So, I thought cinematically it was good. There's a lot of good scenes, like a lot of like comic scenes and stuff. I'm not into the whole not against it, but it's gonna promote
mental
whatever.
Yeah.
To be fair though, when we actually saw it with Kyle and we were there, and there was a guy in the theater with a backpack. Don't know how he got in there. All I'm saying is
Yikes.
there's a couple scenes in Joker where it's I don't know, there's breaking points, just shit where Joker's seen too much shit, he's gonna snap, he's gonna fucking do it, and I'm I'm I don't know, I'm in shock. That's all I know. I'm freaking out, so
A dude with a backpack, bro, in the Joker movie.
all I'm
would
saying,
scare me.
I thought it was a good movie, but the whole time I'm what's going on? What's going on with this
Wow.
guy right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was freaking me out.
Nah, yeah.
So, but yeah, great. I still thought it was a good movie.
That's your number 5. What's your number 5?
Mine is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay, I
I
heard
don't know if you guys.
I heard iffy reviews on that. I heard it was it wasn't what people expected.
Yeah, I didn't even know what to expect really.
Which is good coming into a movie.
Yes, but I mean, it had the star power. I mean, it had Leo,
Yeah.
it had Margot Robbie, it had Brad Pitt. So it was you have to try hard to
You
mess
can't
up
go
a movie
wrong.
like
Yeah,
that.
right.
And it had undertones of the Charles Manson story with it.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the whole psychology of a cult type thing. So yeah, that's my number 5. But
yeah.
So I'll talk about
Definitely
my
like
number
some
5. My number 5, I got It Chapter 2.
Okay. Okay.
I thought it wasn't as good as It Chapter 1. It was still a good movie. I went to go see it with Jack. Kind of a butts ending.
yeah,
They just kind of roasted him to death.
only Predator.
Right, yeah.
And this
that was
whole
weird.
build up, and they just had to tell him
It really
his PP
ended.
is small or something like
It
that.
ended really fast.
Yeah.
It was really
They
strange
roasted
to
him?
me. I was
literally
I was over.
It was over 2 hours,
the-
and that was
yeah.
the ending.
It did not feel like that either.
The
It was
clown turned into this massive alien monster
Right.
with like 8 legs or whatever it was, and all they figured out we just gotta just break its self confidence,
Yeah,
and just
that's-
started roasting him, and that's it. That he just started getting smaller and just died and just deflated. So that's but the rest of the movie, I thought it had a great build up. I thought it was it's the It series. It's
Right.
It was still a good movie. But that ending, that's why it's at my number 5. So that was a tough sell for me. Number 4 is.
Shit, man. I'm really struggling here.
Do you want to come back?
I'm starting
We can come back to it.
I'd rather you guys come back to me. I'm wondering if I've seen 5 movies this year.
That's
this
what
is
I'm
how,
thinking. I don't know if
I'm
No,
like-
I think you have.
I don't know if I have. Bird Box was trash. Was it called right?
Right.
That might have been the worst movie
Dude.
I saw in 2019.
Yeah.
That movie's bad.
So many plot loops,
There's
so
just
many plot holes.
Problems. There's just problems,
Yeah.
bro. There's
Go
just
on Wikipedia. It has like a list of all them.
of all the
2019.
problems with the fucking movie.
Yeah. All right, Jack. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is It Too.
It too.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
I really liked the plot, and then but it's the same thing with the ending. I just
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah, that was tough. My number 4
get over
was Spider-Man: Far From Home.
it. Yeah, that's a good one.
I enjoyed it actually through and through. It's one of those like, what can't you like about Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal, he's to me a
Hell of
very
a man.
what?
He's a hell of a man.
Yeah, he is, but he's a from previous movies I've seen him in, he was a very all right actor, but he fit that role perfectly.
Yeah.
I think he did really nice. And I didn't know what I was gonna think of him when I saw him in the trailer.
Yeah.
Because like he was a big name coming into Marvels, which they really haven't done before.
Yeah.
They've really brought up their actors and haven't really put huge names in there, like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Did you think he oversold? He oversold the
beginning
plot
part?
twist where he was, a villain by
Um,
being too like nice and like superhero, good guy.
no,
Dude, rewatch that movie.
yeah, because I
I'm
haven't
telling
rewatched
you,
it.
He was the most like, yeah, dude, anything for you.
But the thing is, the
Type
beautiful thing is,
Supergirl I have ever seen, and that made me sus.
but
And I was a little
And I'm-
less surprised.
and
when he
I'm
turned
glad
out to
you
be
I'm glad you say that.
this evil dude.
Because I'll say this. I was about to say this when I put it at my number 4. I wanted to almost premise it with saying I haven't seen it twice, because that's a movie that depends on the plot twist, and which beefs a movie up, right? If that plot twist is good enough, cinematically it doesn't have to be that good, because because that's really what hits you. So I haven't seen it twice. I wasn't able to like really appreciate it for what it was.
Yeah.
What really stuck was that plot twist and that struggle that they had to deal with. So that's why that's at my number 4. Your number 4, you coming back to you?
I'm gonna say number 4, John Wick. I really
John
don't
Wick 3?
Yeah, I really don't have anything to say about it.
Did you see it?
Did you watch
Yeah,
the
I
first
saw it.
Okay.
Just on the recommendation of my cousin.
Yeah.
It's
Comic
not-
books are always good.
yeah, I didn't have like huge feelings about it. It was just like a solid movie, I guess.
Was it like always like badass, like
Yeah, right. It's just like, yeah, cool. You know, I just
the
like
6-shooter?
right,
Like,
exactly. That's just kind of like my thoughts on it. Like, and it's not something I would think of when I'm like best movies of 2019.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking back, I'm like, I ain't really seen too many movies.
Yeah.
So shit, I guess
It's gotta make your
I
list.
guess it's on there. So I don't really want to even talk about it too
Yeah,
much.
that's fine.
I just like, yeah, okay, I guess.
Cal, you want to hop in? You got a number 5 and 4?
No, literally no.
Right.
I remember one movie I saw this year that I thought was good.
So you want to wait for our number 1?
So I'm gonna wait on that. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get another.
I can
one that
even go
saw
to
that
number
was
3.
You want? Yeah.
I have a 3-2-1.
All right, yeah. Hit us with a number 3. Start this
So,
roto.
Number 3 was Captain Marvel.
Okay.
No.
Oh yeah.
Captain Marvel
That was
would
a
be
good
number
one.
2 for me, but there was a couple recent developments which we'll get into.
All right.
I thought that was a great movie. I don't know.
I unfortunately have not seen it.
So-
What?
I watched it on a plane and I fell asleep.
Oh man, that movie is so good. Like, I don't know. There's just something about it. Like, I don't. She's just so dope, and
She
like
is.
she's
Yeah.
such a likable person.
Yes,
Like
she is.
I know, like Trent had her as
Oh, yeah,
her Abby
yeah.
for so long, and I'm like, yeah,
You
whatever.
know-
What's the
you
big
know,
deal?
there are people who don't like her. There's a
Yeah,
huge
there's a
thing against her.
huge audience that thinks she's like
She's
corny.
like such a cool person, and then like
It's you know who it is? It's like the toxic masculine group
right, yeah, cool.
who doesn't like that she's like
yeah,
whatever.
like she's the strongest.
she's
Yeah.
got
Okay.
like
I don't
she's
know.
like somehow being reverse sexist.
She's like
you know?
flying through shit. I'm like, I don't know. I don't care who that is. That's the dopest shit I've seen. Like it gave me chills. I was just like, that's such a cool
That's
thing.
the reaction you should have.
I don't know. It was I don't know. It was fucking cool.
Yeah,
It's just a cool movie. Like I don't
Yeah.
know.
Jack.
Whatever.
Agreed.
Yeah,
What you
what's
got
your
at
number
number
3?
3?
My number 3 is The Rise of Skywalker.
Okay. Oh.
Love Star Wars. That's why it's top 3. but definitely not my favorite Star Wars movie.
Yes.
So I couldn't put it.
Yes, I
Number
will
one.
say the exact same thing. I had, and I'm a big Star Wars guy,
Yeah.
and I still have that at my number 3, and I hate the Star Wars people that will, just because they love Star Wars, they'll always like say like,
Yeah.
oh, it was an amazing movie, it was a
Yeah.
cinematic masterpiece, like did perfectly for the saga. You know, I hate those people. You gotta take your L's. You know,
Yeah.
shout out a couple people that we know
like-
that don't take their L's.
Oh yeah.
But I think it was too fast.
Those names will be in the description. By the
It was way too
I'm
fast for a
kidding.
movie. It didn't. What other movies, especially Star Wars, that have done, because it is this galaxy far, far away, and this situation that is hard to relate to, and they have to make us relate to it. I feel like there has to be some points in the plot where that really hit, that really show significance, and I don't think there was a lot of times in that movie that like really made the audience say like, oh, you know,
I feel that.
you know what I mean? It was
Yeah,
so
I know
it was
exactly
like
what you
so like
I felt that for the
bop, 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 bop,
past
bop.
3 new ones.
Yeah,
I felt
absolutely.
for all 3 of them.
Absolutely. Everything
But-
felt like, oh, you
Yeah.
know, that'll be fine. You
Yeah,
know,
we could have a whole nother
Like, even-
segment or a whole nother podcast
Yeah.
just on
like
our
even
critique of
I'll
this
say
movie.
I'll say this. This is a spoiler
But
for
yeah.
whoever didn't see it. When the whole fleet showed up, that didn't feel important. It didn't hit me like it should have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't hitting like it should.
Like they,
Second time it did a little bit more for me at least.
I mean it.
Did you feel the second time?
Yeah, absolutely. But like,
Yeah.
but that I shouldn't like. You know what I mean?
You should. Yeah.
The whole galaxy showed up to help them, and it was like, to me, it was like, huh, good job, guys.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
So like, I'll say that they definitely had to do a lot of making up for how Garbo Trasho, poo poo the Last Jedi was.
Poo-poo.
So they had a lot to make up from that, which I think rendered them a lot.
Was that your number 3 or did you?
That was my number 3.
Okay.
That was my number 3. So I'm fine with moving on from
All
that.
right, cool. Did you? Are we gonna?
No,
Is that gonna be in the
just-
number 1
just keep on.
category?
You want you want
For
to say
sure.
it? All right.
So number 2 for me was The Irishman.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I don't know, man. I just fucking love like Italian.
It was a great story.
I just love Italian
It was long.
lobster movies. Yeah, I mean
You have to stick with
Oh,
it.
was it
right.
Italian?
it's
It's
a
Italian?
well, it's the Irishman. It's from the perspective of an Irishman kind of
Being placed into a Italian mob.
exactly. He's kind of
Ex-
That
Accepted.
makes sense because the main character is
De Niro, but he's
Yeah.
Irish. He's the
oh, yeah,
Irish.
He is the Irish.
He is the Irishman.
So they
Oh.
they gave him like blue like what's it contacts,
Yeah.
and then like they kind of sort of dyed his hair,
Yeah.
did shit with his hair, and like so he's like kind of an Irish dude. And what's funny is
Interesting.
Jimmy Hoffa, who the more I'm like talking to people about the movie, the I guess not a lot of people know about like the Jimmy Hoffa story,
Because it's our generation.
right?
you
But
know?
like my dad was like he told me all about
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
shit, which like cool, great story,
Yeah.
very interesting,
Absolutely. No,
Um,
I think the story was great.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
But it's based off a book. And all those like mob movies that are based off a book, The Godfather, terrible film by the way. I hate that movie. Long and they're very talky. There's a lot
Yes.
of what do you fucking do? What are you gonna fucking do?
Yeah.
Like all that shit for 3 hours and you're like
And it was. And I'll say this. It did do a better job than The Godfather because there was a little bit more power behind their words. There was a
yeah.
little bit more action.
they were about that action.
They were about that action, and
Right.
they showed they were about that action.
Right.
And I also liked the way that they like humanized these mobsters.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
They did a great job at like really tying them down to like everyone else and saying
Yeah.
like, all right, you know what? No matter how much like Jimmy and Tony are having beef, like
yeah.
De Niro's also having a lot of problems within his families and like his daughters.
The household ain't cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So like it really humanized them.
Peggy,
like,
dude. Peggy.
Dude, Peggy
I
was-
thought Peggy
had
was
beef.
I thought Peggy was gonna kill this.
Yeah.
Dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, Peggy was bad.
I just thought it was great. Like I just thought there was humor in it. I thought it was really cool how like there was like,
lot of plot lines.
A lot of people playing roles that they don't usually play. Like Joe Pesci's playing like the nice guy, like the giver, which is Joe Pesci's usually like the I make you laugh, huh? I'm a fucking clown, and then he just shoots people.
Yeah.
They had Sebastian Maniscalco, who's a comedian, play like a hothead, which was like dope. And
Yeah.
then like the whole De Niro thing, it's almost like Citizen Kane, where it's like his whole like he starts like a 30-year-old truck driver, and
Yeah.
you look at like the end of it. He's like literally like on his deathbed, getting like his last rites from the freaking priest. It's like
Yeah.
that's his whole. We went through his whole life.
Yeah.
There's a
No,
lot there.
that was an incredible character
It
development.
was so good.
An incredible character development.
Right.
I'd say that. But my only spite was
long as shit.
it was just long.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where like you have to. I
commit.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready when I pressed play on that
You
movie.
have to be so committed.
I wasn't saying I'm gonna watch a movie right now.
Right.
You need to pee before.
Nope.
snacks
I was
ready.
literally I was planning on doing like work. I was planning on like doing a couple things. Like
Right.
I was like planning on like doing a couple things on my Switch.
I
And
would
like
start that shit at like noon and just rewatch it. Like I
dude,
started.
I
it
did.
literally
I started it at 11 a.m. and I paused it for lunch and I see it said 2. It was like
Oh, yeah.
2 hours 15 minutes left.
Dude.
I was like,
I started it at like 1 p.m. I ate dinner during it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not. Like, I was just so invested. I was like, today I'm watching a movie. Like,
Yeah,
that's
no.
what's going to happen.
No,
it
it was-
doesn't matter. Like,
that's why. That's the only reason it didn't
right,
make
right,
my list.
right,
It
right, yeah.
was just long, and I don't think I watched it in the right scenario.
Yeah. Right. What's your
What number
Number
2?
Yeah.
My number 2 is Endgame.
Endgame. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's pretty. Everyone's seen it. I think.
self-explanatory. It was a great movie.
Great movie. I don't think they're. I don't
Really tied
think
it up.
I have anything else to say.
Let's
Yeah.
see. I had Joker at my number 2. I really enjoyed Joker.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed surface level.
I'll probably say Joker at 4 because I couldn't think of other movies.
I'll say this.
But yeah.
I would have had Joker at my number 4, but the reason I moved it up was because of our discussions after. We had a lot of fun and a lot of great like plot defining banter that we were able to, just like how Black Mirror does it, right? All of their
Starting that dialogue.
yeah, absolutely. You start like talking with your friends like
yeah.
how many meetings could this have?
Yo, what the hell?
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I thought Joker did an incredible job at like, yo, this could have like 3 different meanings. It was like whether the whole thing's in his head, whether parts of it in his head, whether this could mean that, right?
Very open ended.
It was very open ended, and I loved that about it. And that only came from our discussion after, and I wouldn't have got that without it. So that's why it's at my number 2. Surface level, I think it would have made my number 4.
Right.
But because we had that discussion, that
Kyle,
moved
why
it
didn't we
up
have that discussion?
Because we were like
What's your
talking about a dude thinking about shooting.
That's a
us.
good
Yeah.
point. That's a good point. That's a great point. You know what? That's a great point. That is a great freaking point. All right, move on to our number 1.
Yeah. You got a
So,
number 1?
Yeah, I'll just. Yeah, so I only saw literally 3 movies this year. I
Yeah.
saw It, 2, and then Joker, and then I saw this movie called Midsummer. I don't know if you guys have even seen it.
No.
I didn't even heard of that shit.
No,
yeah,
never
so
heard.
yeah, I didn't hear about it, but I ended up going.
At the movies?
Like I didn't know about it until I was with someone. They're like, yeah,
Doesn't matter.
let's go see the movie, right?
You can say the name.
And I'm like, what? No, they don't need that.
Doesn't matter.
And so I just went with them, and like I had no idea what to expect. I had no idea what the movie was. Didn't watch the trailer, had not heard of the name until that night, and then we're there, and I'm like, oh wow, this is like it's like Hereditary. I think it's made by the same.
It's like a horror?
thing. Yeah, it's like a horror, like weird
Like thriller?
Yeah, and it was like I saw Hereditary.
You said it's like Thriller?
I've seen Hereditary, and Hereditary wasn't as good. I don't think people really
That
like
was a
that.
weird
But
movie.
this Midsummer, yeah, this one. So it's kind of weird, but it's also like I feel like it's not as
Out there?
Something about Hereditary was just like I didn't like how like it was strangely dark. This one was like kind of.
So are you a thriller? Like, do you like scary movies? Like
You Thriller or more like a Beat It? Or like a Pretty Young Thing?
pretty young thing for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if it would be the best if I saw all these other movies, but I really enjoyed it.
That was your number
so-
1 though.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed it though.
Yeah.
I'll suggest it. To
What
all
I
of you.
did want to see, and I still want to see, is which I think might have even made my top 5.
Oh, Cats?
Is no, dude, no. That looks so bad. Let's talk about that. That looks
Cats.
so bad.
Holy
They did
shit.
they did an amazing job at creating the worst looking trailer.
Cats, who wants to see that, bro?
Dude,
I haven't
Who
seen the
wants to
trailer.
see that?
Oh,
I
it
haven't
looks
seen the trailer.
disturbing. But I think
Holy shit.
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood with
wanna see that.
Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks as Mr. Roger. I think that would have made my top 5.
I think it might have for me too.
I think it looks so good, and it's had
We gotta
incredible
see it, bro.
reviews. Yeah,
We
let's
gotta
go.
see it.
Yeah.
You guys go?
Holy shit, yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, after this.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna,
Yeah, baby.
Yo, actually,
It's
I
actually
don't know that.
no.
yeah, we're gonna go see that.
So what's your number one?
Number one for me is definitely Endgame.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm
yeah.
too invested in the Marvel
Yeah, absolutely.
universe.
Who is it?
I'm I'm a computer engineer, mainly because of Iron Man. That's like a big reason.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like sick.
Dude, why don't you go for an Iron Man look?
Yeah, like the beard and shit.
Yeah.
And like this.
We did it for Halloween.
We did it for Halloween.
Yeah, and you look good.
Yeah, just hey, thanks, man.
Hey, I want to see that more.
Yeah. I don't know. So I just
Maybe.
something about it. I don't know. I just thought it was cool, and just I've been invested in that character. Obviously, everyone has for so long, and like, man, I was crying.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I was
absolutely.
crying.
Did you cry?
I did. I cried that part.
What part?
The fucking snap.
I'm
I'm Iron Man, dude. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Did you see it in the
Are
theater?
you serious? Yeah, of course. I was by myself, by the way. So
Yeah, that's hot. That's hot boy shit.
that's hot boy summer.
Did you guys-
I had
did
like
you guys
such
cry?
a hot boy summer though.
I
That's the
didn't.
thing.
No, you didn't. No cry.
I don't
Did you?
just-
You get a
movies
little
don't get me
tears.
like that usually.
I cried
You
for
get a
that.
little
I was
teary-eyed,
very
No, I
invested.
didn't.
I was very invested in that. So
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah, too, like when Captain Marvel showed up again, like it made so much more sense watching Captain Marvel and then going to see Endgame. Like it was
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And,
Yeah, I
like,
needed a recap of I literally got all spoilers included a recap of Captain Marvel before
Yeah.
I went because I didn't see it.
right. And then when everyone pulled up to fight Bandit, oh my god,
Just this thing right
Just
here. This
come on, yeah.
whole crowd.
he went
Yeah.
ooh, you know, like
Yeah.
Everything,
man,
everything was full circle. And you know what I'd say, to kind of draw it back to Star Wars
circle,
and the,
I like
and the fleet, yeah, the fleet. How I thought that, like how you said, you didn't get that feeling of like, damn, this fleet that this insanely huge, unstoppable fleet that the Emperor just unveiled didn't really hit me that hard. When Doctor Strange did that thing,
that hit
Bro,
so
that
hard.
That hit hard,
That hit
right?
That hit so hard.
Right?
yeah, yeah.
I was getting goosies,
Right?
bro. I was
So-
like, oh Thanos, you fucked now.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
got fucked up now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Woo!
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Shit. But yeah,
Yeah,
no, that
great
was,
movie.
That was a great film. My one, if I had to, if I had a little complaint about something, when you bring time travel into a film, it never works out.
it's tough.
Didn't think it worked out in Endgame.
I've heard that
Just
critique.
bring Iron Man back, because you brought the one bitch back from the unbringable back shit.
Yeah.
You can't introduce all these fucking rules and then about time travel, because it never
It's
follows
messy.
through. It just gets so messy so quick.
Yeah.
So you have to have the whole movie has to be centered around time travel if you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
You need definitive boundaries, like
And then you have to also act on exceptions.
right
Exceptions to the
quickly.
rules.
What is wrong with them bringing back Iron Man? And they brought back the
Who'd they
Well,
bring back?
the time machine got it did get
didn't it?
destroyed,
Oh right.
and Tony's the only one I think that knows how to make it.
Oh, maybe that's it. I don't know. It's just fucking stupid to me. I just think
But
time travel.
I know what you're saying.
The whole no, I don't think I will Captain America scene. Just come on, bro. Like I don't know. There's just a couple things where time travel to me, it's like it just seems willy nilly. Like you're just making shit up as you go.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's my one critique. But just the way the movie made me feel
Yeah, absolutely.
had to be number one.
Yeah.
So
My number one is Joker. Mainly because of what you said. I love movies in any category that like are just like open ended and you don't know if it's real or not, and they just leave it to you to decide.
yeah.
Because you get so much conversation out of that and so many different
Oh,
theories
so
and
much.
perspectives. It's awesome. And then on top of that, just being it like with just the huge psychological component of
Yeah.
it. That's so interesting to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
And I love Batman. Love like the Dark Knight series. And the development of like a villain. I don't think there's been many movies like that.
Sure.
And Joker is like by far like he might be like my favorite villain
Oh,
of all
absolutely.
time.
Oh,
like,
he's
of any
hilarious.
villain.
And they did a much better job than Suicide Squad. Like
that was
Yeah.
like
that was so
like
anus.
Jared Leto,
Like,
yeah.
garbage.
Get out of
This
there
guy
with
was
that.
good. Joaquin Phoenix. I
Yeah,
think that's how you say
Joaquin.
it. Joaquin.
Yeah.
Fucking
What a
quarterback.
actor,
Oh,
dude.
dude,
Holy
lost
shit.
like 80 pounds or
He's
something
also
like
like
that.
47. He does not. He looks like
Yeah.
30. Like
Yeah.
great.
Oh, he did a great job.
Great actor.
He did a great job.
Killed that.
Yeah, my number one, just like Mikey, mine was Endgame. It was one of those things where I was teeter tottering, but I was like, you know what, Endgame, and we had this discussion after too. It was like, Endgame did something that I believe so many other series will be doing in the future. They set up these single movies with a plot in mind.
Oh yeah.
Like how not only the main plot of the movie, but the overarching plot in the background that always pops up, that always is there, that is there. How long has that been building up? Like 10 years or something.
Iron Man was the first one, right?
That was almost 15
yeah.
even years.
Dude, that's insane,
That
right?
is crazy.
That's
That is-
insane.
Stupid amount of years ago.
Like the amount of tie-ins, like
12 years ago.
how the Stark family is so relevant in everyone's story.
Yeah,
and,
like Captain America.
yeah,
Still, like
and
the dad.
and it's even like and how like Hulk's story is relevant in her story, and like
yeah.
it's so tied in and so relevant to everyone's that I don't think anyone has
Can't mess with
ever done that before at
so
at any scale,
right.
and which now is they're like
How many
they're
fucking
a
movies?
spearhead.
Yeah,
you know
we
what I mean?
dropped a million movies, and all of it still kind of.
So either whether that is attributed to Endgame or just Marvel in general, that can't not be my number
You
one.
gotta think there's some other comic series out there where they can do that, you know?
Oh, I hope so,
I hope.
because you know what I mean.
so.
It's for an audience. I want to see that again.
yeah,
I want to have that again.
I want to be taken on that fucking ride.
Absolutely.
Different story,
I'm
though.
blessed that we got to fucking.
Hopefully someone's taking me on that ride right now and I don't even know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think, what would that even be?
But you don't know it.
Right. But you kind of knew.
No, you don't know what you don't know.
Don't tell me you didn't see, like, you started seeing Marvels and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
there's,
Like
this
the-
blue-
Because
like
there's a comic
you're
series
like,
behind it.
You're like, oh, this shit's blue, this shit's red, like, shit's
Yeah.
starting to add up a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going
also,
on.
like
but,
at the end, like Thanos is like at the end of like some of the Avengers
right.
ones,
It's,
like
you were
Thanos
like,
pops
you're
up.
like, oh shit, something about to pop off.